여러분들, 어제 수베로 감독이 도대체 뭘 잘못한 거죠? 그리고 어제 하나이글스 경기가 왜 이렇게 크게 이슈가 되는 걸까요? 안녕하세요 여러분, TKTV 누구겠습니까? 데니엘 킴입니다. 자, 이번 영상에서는 어제 하나이글스와 이 두산 베어스와의 경기 여러분들과 이야기를 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 저는 솔직히 말씀을 드려서 어제 경기가 왜 이렇게 크게 이슈가 되는지 이해가 잘 안 되고 있거든요. 메이저리그에서는 뭐 자주 볼 수 있는 광경이기는 합니다만은 뭐 메이저리그에서 오케이니까는 뭐 KBO 리그에서도 무조건 오케이다, 뭐 그렇게 생각해서는 안 되겠죠. 하지만 여러분들, 경기 스코어가 크게 벌어진 상황이었고, 그러다 보면은 뭐 투수를 아끼기 위해서 뭐 그 다음날 경기가 있기 때문에 뭐 내일 경기를 위해서라도 감독의 입장에서는 충분히 쓸 수 있었던 그러한 카드가 아니었을까. 뭐 카드라고 말하기는 좀 그렇습니다만은 야수를 마운드에 올리는 거, 저는 뭐 자주는 아니지만은 뭐 1년에 한두 번 정도는 있을 수 있다라고 저는 그렇게 보고 있거든요. 그래서 어제 경기가 왜 이렇게 이슈가 되는지 한편으로는 이해가 안 되면서도, 하지만 또 야구에는 또 정답이 없는 거고 또 각자 의견은 좀 다를 수가 있기 때문에, 글쎄요, 여러분들이 감독이라면은 똑같은 결정을 내리셨겠습니까? 저 같은 경우에도 충분히 뭐 내릴 수 있었던 결정이었다라고 보고, 뭐 한편으로는 뭐 지극히 정상적인 경기 운영 방식이었다라고 저는 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 그리고 저는 또 한편으로는 이렇게 생각을 하거든요, 여러분들. 정규 시즌을 치르다 보면은 뭐 KBO 리그 같은 경우에는 144경기 아니겠습니까? 이렇게 긴 시즌을 치르다 보면은 뭐 10경기, 뭐 작게는 10경기, 많게는 한 30경기, 뭐 이 정도는 수준이 좀 떨어지는 경기가 나올 수밖에 없다라고 저는 그렇게 보고 있거든요. 이거는 굳이 뭐 KBO 리그뿐만이 아니라 메이저 리그도 마찬가지고, 뭐 작년에 월드 시리즈를 우승했던 LA 다저스 같은 경우에도 162경기를 전부 다 들여다보면은 분명히 거기에는 수준이 떨어지는 경기가 포함이 되어 있습니다, 여러분들. 그래서 경기 내용이 좋지 못했기 때문에 무조건 뭐 수준이 떨어졌다, 일찍 포기했다, 뭐 이렇게 보는 것은 조금 무리가 있지 않을까, 저는 그렇게 보고 있고요. 또 한편으로는 저는 이게 또 야구의 묘미가 아닌가 그렇게 보고 있거든요. 뭐 경기가 거의 뭐 매일 치러지다 보니 하루는 뭐 사회인 야구 같은 느낌이 들 정도로 수준이 떨어지는 경기가 나오는가 하면, 또 때로 그 다음날 뭐 메이저리그급 경기도 볼 수 있는 게 또 여러분들 KBO 리그 아니겠습니까? 그래서 한 경기 내용이 좋지 못하고 해서 선수들이 포기했다, 감독이 포기했다, 수준이 너무 떨어진다, 돈이 아깝다라는 생각보다는, 물론 그런 경기들이 많이 나와서는 안 되겠죠. 하지만 여러분들, 뉴욕 양키스가 되든지 LA 다저스가 되든지 NC 다이노스가 되든지 또는 뭐 하나 이글스가 되든지 정규 시즌을 치르다 보면은 분명히 여러분들 수준 떨어지는 경기 나옵니다. 뭐 제가 굳이 설명을 드리지 않아도 여러분들도 야구 전문가들이시기 때문에 다 이미 알고 계시지 않을까 싶거든요. 그래서 단순히 어제의 경기 내용만 놓고 하나 이글스가 또는 뭐 수베로 감독의 경기를 포기했다, 이렇게 해석하는 것은 저는 조금 무리가 있다고 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 자, 그리고 여러분들, 이제 KBO 리그에도 맷 윌리엄스 감독 있죠. 그리고 올해서부터는 이제 칼로스 수베로 감독이 또 KBO 리그에 도전을 하지 않았습니까? 이렇게 외국인 감독이 오다 보면은 말이죠, 여러분들, 우리가 예전에 볼 수 없었던 경기 운영 방식이라든지 뭐 새로운 것을 여러분들 접할 수가 있게 됩니다. 저는 이게 상당히 긍정적인 부분이다 라고 저는 그렇게 보고 있거든요. 그래서 우리가 새로운 그러한 경기 운영 방식을 본다고 하더라도 조금 오픈된 마인드로, 조금 오픈된 시선으로 우리가 받아들여야 하지 않을까, 저는 그렇게 보고 있거든요. 한국 야구를 무시한다, 경기를 포기했다, 이런 느낌보다는 이렇게도 경기가 운영이 될 수 있구나, 이렇게도 야구를 할 수 있구나, 이렇게 좀 오픈된 마인드로 우리가 좀 이해를 하고 또 받아들여야 하지 않을까, 저는 그렇게 생각합니다. 그리고 수베로 감독에 대해서 조금 더 말씀을 드리자면은, 수베로 감독이 무조건 하나 이글스 KBO 리그에서 성공을 거둔다, 그렇게 말을 할 수는 없습니다. 이제 막 시작을 했기 때문에 시간이 모든 것을 말해주겠죠. 하지만 수베로 감독, 뭐 여러분들도 느끼셨겠습니다만은 상당히 열정적인 지도자이고, 물론 토니 라루사라든지 조토레라든지 뭐 이런 메이저리그 명장들, 뭐 그런 감독은 아니기는 합니다만은, 그래도 여러분들 메이저리그에서 코치 생활까지 했었던 그러한 경력이 있지 않습니까? 뭐 여러분들도 다들 아시겠지만은 이 메이저리거 선수가 되는 것도 경쟁이 치열하지만은, 이 코치들 사이에서도 이 메이저리그 코치 한 자리 따내기 위해서 정말 치열한 경쟁을 하거든요. 메이저리그 코치까지 이 그 높은 자리까지 올라갔다라는 점은 여러분들, 수베로 감독이 분명히 본인의 야구 철학이 있기 때문에 가능했었다고 저는 그렇게 믿고 있고요. 그렇기 때문에 수베로 감독의 야구를 우리가 너무 쉽게 생각해서는 안 된다라고 저는 보고 있고, 물론 무조건 성공을 거둔다, 하나 이글스의 리빌딩이 뭐 완성이 된다, 이것까지는 모르지만은 수베로 감독의 야구 인생에서는 가장 큰 위대한 도전이 바로 이번 하나 이글스와의 계약이기 때문에 모든 것을 쏟아붓는다. 만약에 제가 하나 이글스 팬이라면은 시간을 좀 여유를 갖고 말이죠, 믿는 마음으로 올 시즌을 지켜보게 되지 않을까. 저는 뭐 그러한 마음가짐이 좀 필요하지 않나 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 뭐 어제 경기 내용이 상당히 하나 이글스 입장에서는 좋지 못했기 때문에 실망하신 뭐 하나 이글스 팬 여러분들도 계시겠죠. 뭐 하지만 여러분들 아시다시피 지금 하나 이글스 구단 같은 경우에는 과정에 집중을 하고 있는 그러한 상황 아니겠습니까? 그리고 그 과정이 결코 쉬운 과정은 아닌데, 이렇게 어려운 과정을 밟다 보면 저는 어제 같은 경기 충분히 나올 수 있다라고 저는 그렇게 믿고 있고요. 너무 그렇게 한두 경기만 놓고 잘하고 있다, 못한다, 뭐 이런 결론을 내리는 것보다는 지금 이 시점에서 하나 이글스 그리고 수베로 감독에게 필요한 거는 좀 빅픽처 그리고 기다림이 아닌가, 저는 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 글쎄요, 올 시즌 하나 이글스 그리고 칼로스 수베로 감독이 어떤 성적을 남기게 될지 모르겠습니다만은, 제가 며칠 전에 타구단 KBO 리그 고위 관계자와 이야기를 나눌 기회가 있었는데요. 지금 하나 이글스의 방향을 상당히 긍정적으로 평가하고 있더군요. 그래서 일단 저는 방향 설정은 잘 되어 있다, 다만 시간이 필요하다고 저는 그렇게 보고 있고, 어제 경기 그 9회 상황에 우리가 너무 많은 그 의미를 부여하는 것 또한, 글쎄요, 그 장면을 놓고 수베로 감독의 야구 철학을 평가하기에는 조금 무리가 아닌가, 저는 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 자, 여러분들은 어제 갑작스러운 야수들의 마운드 등판 어떻게 보셨습니까? 뭐 여러분들도 야구 오랫동안 보셨으니까는 뭐 다양한 의견이 있으실 것 같은데, 뭐 저의 생각을 정리해서 말씀을 드리자면은 뭐 지극히 정상적이었다, 충분히 그럴 만한 상황이었다고 저는 그렇게 보고 있습니다. 자, 여러분들의 의견 궁금하니까는요, 밑에 댓글란에 올려주시고요, 유튜브로 보고 계신 분들은요, 구독 버튼 눌러주시고요, DKTV는요 내일 또 새로운 영상으로 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. Skipper, thank you so much for your time. 2021 season is only a couple of weeks away. Your first spring training as a manager with Hanwha Eagles. How is everything going?
Great so far. It's been a great group to work with. When we came in here, we had high expectations for a rebuilding club. Once you start seeing the talent, you're like, man, there's definitely a lot of talent that you can work with. Not only young players, but players with experience as well, and players who are reaching their prime. So you got all type of players, and they're all hard workers with a very high level of aptitude. They're quick learners. It's not somebody who you need to say things 3, 4, 5 different times, which is all right that you can repeat yourself. But here it's basically like a 1, 2 times, and they get it immediately and they apply it. So it's been real good group to work with.
Okay, I know that you are very hopeful about the upcoming season, but the reality is that last year it was a very difficult season for the Hanwha Eagles organization. I know that you have new message, I know that you're setting new set of goals, but how difficult do you think this upcoming season is going to be for the team?
I can't tell until I see the other teams. You know, I can only speak for my team, and we have 2 games against Kiwon, and I don't know. I'm guessing that they, like you very well said, there's a reason why this team hasn't had much success in the past. But the club that I'm envisioning, I'm watching, there's definitely players that don't look like a 10th place club. And I'm not saying it because I'm the manager and need to politely say and be positive. One thing is to be positive, the other one is to be real. And being real, I don't see these players finishing in 10th. I don't know how it happens. Now, once I start watching other teams and the quality of level that they got, maybe then I get to understand what happened. But as of now, I have nothing but our team and the team that we just played as a parameter. I'm missing the other 8 teams in the league to have a better understanding and say, well, this might be real tough, or we can do it. As of now, in my mind, we can do it, and that's what we're going for.
Okay, I'm curious to know what your message was on your first day with the team. What did you tell the guys? Did you have any kind of special message for your players?
Well, I've always, and it's a message that I've been consistent, because I think that in winter ball in the United States and now in Korea, it's always going to work. You got to play baseball. You got to play baseball in a convicted way. You got to have conviction. You gotta believe in what you do out there. And in able to do that, you gotta max out your potential. And that's why we talk about freedom of fail. If you go out there being captive of the results, you're not gonna see the next level because you don't wanna try this. Go out there and try this. Let's run the bases aggressively. Instead of just slapping the ball early in the count, let's swing a little farther and see what happens. Let's start hitting some extra bases. Let's not limit our game. In the outfield, we don't need to throw it to the infield and relay quick. Let that arm go. See what kind of arm you got. So in the midst of all that, because you haven't done it before, there's going to be some mistakes and there's going to be some errors. But those errors and those mistakes will be our success tomorrow, not necessarily today. So that's why we talk about freedom of fail. And we're going to live that. You know, there's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1 is 100% on the coach. You guys go out there and figure out how good you are. Phase 2, 50-50. Now we're making some decisions, but at the same time, you're starting to be accountable for them. And then phase 3, we pass the torch. Go play. You already got the knowledge. You already know your talent. You know what you're capable of doing. Make decisions based on that.
One thing that I noticed during spring training is the fact that you talk about confidence. You talk about having fun. How important are those two factors as you go through a regular season that's going to be 144 games?
Well, you just said it, 144 games. You gotta have fun, and it's not a fun that is gonna be based on results. You know, we're gonna have losing streaks, and we're gonna have winning streaks. We don't know how many games we're gonna win, but we're gonna go out there, like you just said at the beginning, in a passionate, convicted way. We're gonna play with what we got, and there's so many variables in this game, from a bad hop to a great pitch and a bloop hit, or a bad pitch and it's a line drive right at third baseman and we won. So there's so many variables in this game that you can't control that. Always playing with a conviction out there and having fun are definitely, like you said, two key elements of how our club is going to portray and they're going to play out there.
You speak Spanish, you speak English, but now you need to communicate with Korean players. I know that you've got a really good interpreter with you by your side. Been the communication with the players or even your coaches, Korean coaches, has that been going well for you?
I think it's been great. You know, like you said, I had a great translator, and at the same time, and I think the body language part, like when you teach and you want to demonstrate something, they can understand that. And then you use key words like good, like very good, or different expressions. So you learn how to say charezo, you know. And my accent's not the best, you know, charque, stay short. You know, you learn these key phrases that you know that at the beginning, they're going to be very helpful. And then as you long, definitely one of my goals is to keep on learning the language. But as of now, since we're trying to get the message, we're going to rely a lot on our translator, and it's been great, the communication so far.
Going back to your interview process with the general manager back in, I believe, in Florida, back home for you. What made you decide to come to Korea? It's thousands of miles away, completely different environment. It's a big commitment for you, for your career as well. What made you believe that this was the right opportunity, managing Hanwha Eagles, for you and for your family as well?
Well, I was blessed to do baseball 30 years in the United States and basically accomplish everything. You know, go through all the levels, get to experience player development, get to experience the winning side, 12 years of winter ball in 3 different countries. So pretty much my career was set. You know, I was looking forward to the next chapter in life without baseball, and when this interview comes along, being a last place club caught my eye, and the commitment of them of trying to do things very like with excellence. We're committed to this. We'll have to do what we have to do, but we want longevity. It's not only come here 1-2 years. No, it's commitment for the long haul. And back in winter ball, that's all I've done. I've always gotten place from last club. I've been through the rebuilding process. So once they say rebuilding, last place, we're all in, and I say different country, different culture. It's like the perfect storm. It's like, hey, this is it. You know, we're back. We're not retiring. We're coming back to baseball, because that's the way I saw it from a personal standpoint. And my family, 100% supportive. I didn't need to ask them. I was about to ask them. They said, we're in. Yeah, let's go to Korea. So that made the decision a lot easier.
One thing I must bring up, watching a couple of your practice games, is the defensive shifts that you are incorporating with your especially with your infielders. Can you tell us about that process? Obviously, that's how the game's being played over in the United States, but in KBO, the clubs have been somewhat slow adjusting, being comfortable with radical shifts. Can you tell us the backstory to what what you're trying to do in terms of placing your infielders in certain spots?
Like for me, it's normal because I know that shifting era, the buzz has been around, the last years in the big leagues, a lot of buzz about shift, but I was taught since a little kid to play with shift, to play with percentages, not in terms of the word percentage, like it's the one used nowadays, but just with pitches. Like if there's a righty that likes to pull and there's a fastball in, I was taught you gotta go this way, or there's a lefty, or there's gonna throw an off speed. So I was brought up like that. So when I played shortstop for 8 years, I was very shift oriented. And then when I started managing, and I can go all the way back to 2003, our club of Clinton, Iowa, Midwest League Low A, we had a big chalkboard with the name of the players and how we were going to play it. Now, this is 2003, and you can see all along that the shifting came, and I was right in it because I've always done it. I'm a big believer in percentages. I'm a big believer that it's not only one hitter against all 12 pitchers or 13 pitchers, you playing the same. No, I believe you got to identify what kind of stuff does that pitcher have? What kind of velocity he got? What kind of count? Where are the runners on? The biggest thing about shifting is not only the physical part, it's how it brings a team together. Because now you elevate the communication, becomes pitch by pitch. The focus level comes up. They got to look at each other. They got to look in for information from an infield coach. So it's part of that team chemistry. It unites the team in a different way, and at the same time, it gets everybody focused pitch to pitch.
One last question. I know that you're busy. Hana Eagles, very passionate fan base. You're gonna find out soon. I'm telling you, the Eagles fans, they love their team. They go all in. But like I said earlier, the records haven't been great in recent seasons. A lot of fans are disappointed. But with your arrival, the excitement is there. What can you say to Hanwha Eagles fans right now as the manager of this organization?
Well, it's always great to come into a fan base that is as passionate as we're going to be on the field. So you unite both passions, and good things hopefully will happen. And we are as eager as they am to bring them a championship. I've been with those fans, and it's tough. They've been so beaten up with last place, and probably a lot of people may joke about the team. And we're here more so than to change that history and the path of that, to be part, to celebrate that, hopefully that championship that will come here soon. But again, we can't lose track that there's a rebuilding place. It'll be step by step. When it comes, amen. But we will do anything possible on the field to turn things in Godspeed.
Skipper, thank you so much for your time once again. Stay healthy, and hope you have a good season.
You too. Thank you very much.